In this video, I will demonstrate how to insert a table in Microsoft Word. You'll begin by positioning your cursor in the document where you want to place the table. We call that the insertion point. At the top, you'll click on the Insert tab and then click on the Table icon. And then if you notice down here, you'll have a group of rows and columns to select from. In this case, we're going to make a table that is 4 columns wide by 5 rows. So we're going to make a 4 by 5. So when I'm in that last cell that's highlighted for my table, I click and it'll insert the table in the document. Now in the table we need to enter some information. So in this case I'm going to enter some information for the column headers. I'm going to use the name, phone number, city and state, and email address. To move between the cells in the table, you can click with your mouse, which will position your cursor in the cell, or you can also use your tab key on your keyboard. So just as a reminder, the tab key does move from cell to cell. So you might want to do a little bit of formatting. Let's review just a little bit of the formatting, because remember, you can format in tables the same you can format in any Word document. So if I select the first row of this table, this is going to be my title row, I could make the font bold and I could change the color, doing all that from the Home tab on the font toolbar there. If I want to enter some data here, I can enter some names and see that it also does the word wrap, just like in Word. When you get to the end of a line, well, in a table, when you get to the end of the cell, it'll wrap the text to the next line. You can highlight and then align the text in the cells. So let's just say that in my title row here I want it centered. I could select it and then use the center icon on the paragraph ribbon. You can also use bullet points or numbers by clicking on the bullets icon. I could say that this is phone number 1, and I could have a second phone number. So any of the formatting that you can do in Word, you can also do in tables, and you can apply it to the whole table, to selected rows, selected columns, or selected cells. Now if you notice, when I click below the table, I no longer have my table tab up here on my across the top with my tabs. But if I click anywhere in the table, I get the Table Tools tab back. There are 2 parts to the Table Tools tab. The first is Design. This is where you can apply different designs. You could scroll through and select a design for your table that you want to use. You can apply different shading. You can apply or change the way the borders are applied to the table. So if you want to shade just the first row of your table, you could use the shading here and pick a color that goes with your document. On the Layout tab is where you'll find different options for sizing cells, sizing rows, inserting columns, inserting rows. So if I select this blank row here below the name, I could then insert above or below a new blank row. I could also select that column, that row, and delete it. So again, on the Table Tools tab, you have a Design tab, and you have a Layout tab. And to move through the table, you can use your mouse or the Tab key on your keyboard. And just as a quick review, to insert a table in your document, you click on the Insert tab and then Table, and then you select the size table that you want to insert.